Hey everyone, I'm Sage Valentine and welcome to my channel of the same name. Right now I'm going to review for you guys Fox's The Following, Season 3, Episode number 11, entitled Demons. So this episode honestly gave us a little more insight on Theo's life. We were able to see Ryan Hardy going even more off the deep end. Gwen left. Max and Mike are kind of getting closer, but then Max and Tom seem to be getting a little bit closer, but then Tom makes this mistake and kills Agent Sloan. So my whole theory of her being Hydra or a follower is out of the window at this point. And did I mention that wild sex party and that machete wielding killer? Yeah. This entire episode, that season finale is going to be something else. But let's get down to this one for you guys. Alright, Ryan Hardy made a terrible mistake. Not only was he drunk off his behind, but he woke up lying next to the bartender. And Gwen had enough. Gwen was done. Gwen could stand his brand of crazy up to a certain point. However, now that she realizes that he is drinking, she's done with him. Done. It's pretty clear that she's done. When he calls her during the episode, she doesn't pick up, and by the time he makes it home, this chick is gone. So at this point, she's gone. Then we get to Theo. We learn that his name is Terrence Jackson because Jackson is the universal name in all these shows. When it comes to like characters, there's always at least one Jackson. And Terrence lived in a house with his family in Pennsylvania, and his family was slaughtered, and supposedly he was the only person that survived. And apparently he more than likely killed his mother's boyfriend, thinking that he was the person, or at least this is what the FBI believes, that he was the person that killed the family. So while the FBI is following this little tip, we have Theo and his sister Penny following those coordinates they found at the end of last episode, and they basically stumble upon this very posh house, and they're trying to figure out how to get in this house. Meanwhile, Luke, Mark, and Daisy are following Mike, and Luke Mark nearly gets caught walking out of his car, gun in hand, coming out after Mike. And the security Theo pulls up in this like black sedan. Thank God for Daisy pushing Luke Mark out the way, otherwise he would have outed himself and been dead on arrival, or dead at the scene. Okay, then Luke Mark and Daisy decide to follow a lead. They go back to this guy, this hipster guy that owns this bike shop, and they basically, Daisy is linked to him because he is the one that gave them those cameras to spy on Max. And they use this dude right after Mark has his little, or says his little soliloquy about hipsters and stuff, which was pretty funny, about the beards being the flammable thing. Yeah, it does kind of like make you scratch your head a little bit why you would have something on your face that's pretty flammable or stuff. But anyway, what ends up happening is they're recruiting him to help them find out who was watching the feed. Then you have Theo and his sister, and they stumble upon some senator or some guy's like ID or something. And to make a long story short, they hijack their limo. They make the man and his wife take their clothes off. Then they take those clothes and enter this very eyes wide shutty party. Which, if you don't understand those parties, you don't know about those parties, basically orgies. But Fox kind of pushed the limit to a certain point, but I think you guys kind of should have caught that one a little bit. If you didn't, no shade on you. But they end up, Penny and Theo, going to a second level because they're looking for somebody named Eliza. We don't know who this chick is. To make a long story short, they get to the second level where there's like sadistic, crazy play, like 8mm type snuff film stuff, where one person is getting choked out, this other person is like getting cut up with this chainsaw, and then they make it to the end of the hall. Theo takes out the security guard. They go in the room and they see this chick Eliza. Eliza's looking at them, kind of side-eyeing them a little bit. Theo makes her an offer. He reveals that they have an associate that passed away, but this chick knows that Theo killed said associate. Theo basically says, listen, I'm gonna go put my neck out on the line because I'm already out in the press and everything. I'm gonna go get Ryan Hardy and make sure that he will no longer bother me or you, and I'm assuming everybody else that's involved in this as well. All the other killers that are unnamed out there in the world. So what ends up happening is that this girl asks basically for a deal, and he puts this card down. I don't know how much money is on that card, but I'm sure it's a substantial amount. Then we get back to Luke, Mark, and Daisy, who learn via the bearded hipster dude that someone in the FBI was using that laptop. The thing is, they can't find that person because they gotta be able to hack into that system. This guy's like, this is way out of my pay grade. I'm not touching this. So Daisy realizes she has to contact somebody. So who does Daisy contact? She goes typing into this clown party thing, and she contacts Theo. So I guess that is, next episode is the moment when the Titans come together. All of them. Daisy, Luke, Mark, Penny, and Theo. And let's just see how it's going to blow out next week. Now, we get back to Ryan Hardy, who meets up with this FBI chick whose name I missed, but I do know that the actress is from Law and Order. I don't know if she's still on there, but she was at one point. But anyways, I think she's actually the one that was married, or is married, to Bobby Flay, and they had that weird divorce thing. But anyway, just Google it. But anyway, guys, to make a long story short, Ryan and this woman are like teaming up to find out more about Theo, because Ryan and Mark and Max all go to the FBI, I think in I believe it's the FBI in Philadelphia, and they're talking to this woman. The woman's like, listen, I need to get this dude. We haven't like obtained him, but we need to do this the legal way. We all know Ryan Hardy can't do anything the legal way. So they're checking into this hotel, Ryan and the Law and Order chick, and all of a sudden Ryan gets a phone call from Max, who's worried about him because Gwen called Max and basically told Max that Ryan's drinking again. So as Ryan's on the phone, who does he see but Joe Carroll, because he's been seeing pops of him during this entire episode. So what ends up happening is that he goes off by himself to Theo's old house. He's going in there alone. I'm sitting there like, I don't believe this. My mom is just like, I am so sick of Ryan going places by himself. She's like, I hope they kill him. I said, Mom, no. There'd be no show without Ryan Hardy. But Ryan's like going through the house looking around, and then he sees like these steps in this closet, and he goes downstairs and he sees these like cave drawing things all on the wall in white. It's weird. And then this like notebook with like this demonic stuff all in it. And then he hears this thumping upstairs. He goes back upstairs by himself and runs into this dude, and the dude knocks him over, and then he disappears out. So by the time the cops and everybody get back to the house, or get to the house, everyone's pissed. They have every right to be. Max tries to talk to Ryan about being drunk. Ryan doesn't even want to talk to him about it. Then they get back to the hotel, whereas Ryan and that I think she's like an FBI agent or like a DEA agent. But anyway, she and Ryan are talking in his room. Then she wants to go back to her room while Ryan wants to go outside. So she's taking a shower. And Ryan is outside, I guess. And that Oleg guy comes in. He's acting like a serial killer. Kills the poor desk clerk. Goes up to the agent's room to kill her. Ryan realizes something's wrong. Turns around, sees the desk clerk dead. Then he's running up the steps, and I'm wondering like how long is it going to take him to get up these steps, because he's already drunk. He's got this heart problem. He's just a mess. So eventually Ryan beats the crap out of this guy, and basically the agent has to hold a gun basically pointed towards him to stop him. So clearly he is already off the cliff of crazy as it is now, and he's still seeing Joe Carroll everywhere he looks. Then they all get back to the FBI, or actually to the station where the female agent is, and they're talking to Oleg, and he basically explains that Theo was his friend, and that Theo recruited him to kill his family, and that Theo's just a really messed up kid. So meanwhile, we get to Tom at the end of the episode, and like I said, he killed Agent Sloan, and now he's in a whole heap of mess, because now he's got to deal with that, on top of the fact that he will soon have to deal with Daisy and with Luke Mark, and I guess Theo now as well. It's just going to be completely crazy next week. Alrighty, so if I left anything out that you think is important from this review, definitely leave it in the comments. Don't forget to rate this video and hit that subscribe button. Check me out on Twitter at Sage Valentine. And honestly, to conclude this, if Mark wasn't such a crazy killer, I would definitely feel so sorry for him. But unfortunately, at this point, I don't. And I hope that he lives into season 4. Hopefully the following gets a 4th season, obviously. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Check me out, Twitter at Sage Valentine, and Google Plus at Sage Valentine. Until next time, you all take care. I love you guys. Bye, guys. Bye.